Your film, Meal, starring Adil Hussain, was quite thought-provoking. And
Have you watched it?
yeah, I was there during the screening back in March.
Ah, okay, okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
was there. Um, so I was just wondering if, for people who don't know, can you tell them a little bit about your film?
Well, for people who don't know, I think it's not exactly advisable to tell a film in that way, but I can share that this is a film which is very relevant to the times that we were living in, we are living in, we are living in very chaotic times. And I always try to make films which reflect, which acts as a mirror to the times that we're living in. So Meal was about chaos and about the also about the NRCCA
Hmm.
protests that were happening during that time. So Meal is about, I think, something very integral in our society, in our systems, and especially in the middle class, which is a lot of India.
Right.
The middle class, the lower middle class section, where even if there's a rise of 5 rupees in the petrol prices, it totally creates a ruckus in the whole system and everything goes up. So it's about
Absolutely.
every minute thing, every nuance that we go through as a middle class, as a lower middle class families, and the struggles we have to go through. And sometimes the struggles are inner, and sometimes the struggles are outside as well. So it's kind of both kind of comes together, and that's what's Meal is about, to be very honest. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, were there any issues or challenges that you faced during the filming process?
No, it's strange because this was, I think this was the best kind of a shoot for us, in the sense that everything went according to plan. It was very well. I would say the pre-productions were very well done, and we really didn't have so everyone. So I usually try to shoot the film before we shoot the film.
All right.
So that's a process I follow. And Meal was an exact. So nothing really went wrong in Meal. It was a very good set to be a part of. It was a very good set, as I remember. It's been 2 years. Yeah, Meal was a good experience in terms of logistics, and as a director, and also because I was not only a director, I was also
Mhm.
kind of like the production manager also, in a way, kind of fixing every aspect of the shoot. So
Mhm.
yeah, Meal was a satisfying experience, all the way, all the way. Yeah.
All right. Um, so, what inspires you, and what would you like to see more of in the industry, if you could have an opinion on that?
Well, I'm not yet part of the industry in the most definitive sense. Yes, we are trying to. I can speak for myself, is that I come from a place where I try to make films which satisfy myself first, and then the world, in so to say. I try to. I take filmmaking as a very organic process where I try to bring my experiences through cinema, and I try to see whether it's connecting to a lot of other people as well. It does in some way or the other. It always does, because no experience is entirely intimate or mine alone. Every
Hmm.
experience has been experienced by someone else before and will be experienced by someone else thereafter. So that
True.
is where I think cinema as a form, as a medium, kind of connects with everyone. It might not be 100 people. It
Hmm.
might be 20, but that 20 then becomes your audience. So that is how I see this, as a that is how I perceive cinema, the kind of films that I want to make. As per my what inspires me, uh, that's a lot of, mostly life. The ordinariness of life inspires me, to be very honest.
Right.
I find ordinary things exciting and more cinematic than extraordinary things happening in people's lives, because in our lives really nothing really happens in. I mean, in only films we see this happening and that happening, and then finally that happening. In life, it's mostly this, what we are doing right now. So I try to find cinema in the most ordinary things in life, more ordinary aspects, and I try to make them into stories, and something where which I try to see whether other people also that see themselves in those stories. That is how you connect. So that has been my process till now, and yeah, that's what I try to do when I make films.
Right. Meal was quite chilling for me to watch. How do you think your film was received by the audience when you put it out on YouTube?
Well, Meal has really. I have nothing against how Meal was received. It was received very well. All the critics, all me. It was covered for a year. It was covered for a year. I mean, right now it's on Hotstar as well.
Hmm.
And Meal was really talked about. So it's interesting that right now Meal is taking the shape of a feature. Meal was a very satisfying experience for a short film. What it has kind of done for
Hmm.
me and how it has reached people. The references have kind of gone rounds. It being a silent film in a
Hmm.
way, and the sound design of it has been talked about. So yeah. I mean, the Meal has been talked about. So I can't say I'm happy, and it's there right now on Mubi. It's on YouTube. It's on Tata Sky, and it's on Hotstar right now. So it was a satisfying experience. And
One of
yeah,
the very first things that I noticed when the movie ended was that it was a silent film, but it also did not have any background music, which is usually not the case even in silent films. But
right, right.
that was a good experience just to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, see, in a very interesting interview, Satyajit Ray, when asked about his, usage of music in his films and etc., he says that films should ought to go without music. I mean, if you have good actors, if the scene is very well staged and blocked and
Mhm.
written, the ambient sound, because right now as we are talking, if two cameras were playing right now, this would have been a perfect scene about
Yeah,
two strangers meeting for the first time and talking whatever.
yeah,
So we don't need music right now playing between us just to have any different kind of an experience.
yeah.
So what is cinema but portraying fragments of life and putting it together? So if in life no one is playing a music right now, why should we play it in cinema? So
That's
ideally
true.
films should be there without music in some way. But of course, if music used, some films require that. It depends
Hmm.
on the film and depends on the story and everything else. But I think I also buy that. I love films when it's more organic because
Yeah,
music kind of manipulates the way you think and you feel. So maybe there are, I mean, most of the usages of music in Indian cinema is that when the scene is not doing itself together so well, you put music and you emphasize and you elevate the scene.
right.
And sometimes elevating is okay, but sometimes it kind of overpowers the scene and it
Hmm.
manipulates you to be kind of emotionally drawn towards a certain, whether it's anger, whether it's melodrama, emotion. So that is how primarily music has been used in Indian cinema mostly. Even
Hmm.
now, for that matter, very few people use music in a different way. Though these
Yeah.
days, all the indie films, it's a treat to watch those where they kind of use music in different way, or rather they use the ambience.
Hmm.
So if you watch Lali, you'll also see how there is music, but that's through the ambience, through non-diegetic sources.
Right.
Because, for example, we are talking right now, and I have an open window right here, and someone starts playing a music, some loud music right here. So that will be coming to my ears,
Hmm.
and that might be a song I know. So that becomes music for this scene.
Right.
So that's also, but that's non-diegetic and that's ambience from the ambience, more
Yeah.
organic. So I love that approach to music rather than putting songs
Hmm.
or creating songs for to elevate or that. Yeah,
True. Okay. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the festival. You attended
yeah.
it back in March, and how was your experience of having your film screened, of just attending the festival in general?
See, I went because Tushar is a dear friend, and I wanted to meet him. We never met before. We only had conversations over the phone and all of that, and he's a rare kind of a guy. I mean, in a world where it's a dog eat dog world out there, as we both know, and people don't, and especially filmmakers, they're not really ready to come together or help each other in a way. They're always very insecure, let's say.
Hmm.
Most filmmakers are, and especially of our age, are very insecure. They think if I tell someone this, then that, oh my god, he'll climb the ladder up, something like that. So and from where I come from, my film schooling has been from Europe, and my sensitivities have always been from Europe and that part of the world. So my ideas about all of this is very, I don't really, I love collaborations.
Hmm.
I love to share things. the resources that I have, and that is how filmmaking happens in that part of the world, which I saw firsthand. So I miss that while in India. So
Right.
Tushar was one of the first guys. I mean, we really hit it off, and he had no ego of anything of that sort. And I mean, we are trying to collaborate on a few things together. He came up as an executive producer for Lali later,
Yeah.
and the festival, for Tushar, because I know how hard he works. So I'm hoping the edition of this festival would be really interesting. I know there's Asim also involved, Asim Chabra sir also involved, and it's going to be something good. My last experience was, I mean, it was really hospitable, yeah, it's an effort which needs to be supported for sure.
Right. What was your most memorable incident or memory from the festival, or your favorite part about the festival?
Well, well, to be very honest, it lasted for just 2 3 hours, so it's hard to have a memorable experience from there.
Yeah.
But I know I know the kind of questions you want, the answers you want me to answer.
Yeah.
So I'll say I think there was the uh, Siddharth Bhardwaj. He came to the screening. I didn't know him personally, but I really liked his performance in Delhi Crime.
Yeah.
It's very interesting what he has done with the leg, the way he walks.
Hmm.
I really loved that detail that he put into that character because if when you see him in Delhi Crime, you have seen officers like that, and you don't really give him
Hmm.
any two pies that this guy is good for nothing. But how interestingly he turns it around, that I loved that he was very real to me. And I love performances which are believable, which are people that I have seen or have interacted with. So meeting him in person was, I would say, a highlight for me during YIFF. So yeah, I would say that was an interesting highlight, because whenever I meet an actor, I see, chalo ek aur casting mil gaya.
Yeah.
So that's how I see things. So yeah, and I would really like to work with him for sure.
He was on set of Chintu again, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was mind blowing what he can do with very minimal, props and everything. He didn't require anything. It was just so organic. It was so natural. It was a
Absolutely.
treat
See,
to
that
watch.
is the job of the actor. I mean, someone who wants to be an actor first and a star later, or I don't know, whatever that you call it.
Hmm.
I think the job of the actor is to hide behind the character, and how will you hide is your craft and the person that you are.
Is there any message that you'd like to give young budding filmmakers or anyone who'd even like to enter into the festival or in general?
Well, if you're talking about me, because I am a young and budding filmmaker, so if
Okay.
there's some message if I'm going to give myself, if you're asking me that, but because I'm not old at all, I'm
Yeah.
26 by the way.
Okay.
So I myself am a young budding filmmaker, so I don't have any advice to give anyone, because see, everyone's journey is different,
Yeah.
and unless you fall 100 times, you won't be able to stand up. So I'm still falling, and I'm seeing people around me falling, and unless you fall, there's no one plus one two here.
Yeah.
You have to find your own equation and how it works for you, because as I said, I mean, every person is so different.
Hmm. That's
uh,
true.
that is, people have to find their own way. There is no advice, but only thing I can say from my own experience is that you should find someone, to 5 6 people that you should look up to. You should read their
Hmm.
biographies.
Right.
You should go through their interviews, just to pick up things, just to see how they see life. Because
Hmm.
it's important to have that glass, because when you're young and mature and not seen a lot of life, from where do you see it? From either books or interviews or films. That's how
True.
you see life. Not everyone is fortunate enough to go Europe and travel
Yeah.
14 countries. So the only way, I think, Irfan Khan said in that film, Namesake, what is the easiest way to travel? Just open a book. So I think that's what I would be suggesting people to do.
Thank you so much. This was a very fruitful interview for me personally. And thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving us your time.